Almost evening, actually. It's Sunday, I don't know, 13th, 14th, something like that. This is the Abundance Oracle. Please subscribe if you haven't and like or comment. That would be very kind of you. I want to update you a little bit on the place that I'm working on getting down in Florida. I think I told you it's in Florida. It is taking the bank so very long, and they keep asking for more and more statements and things. And I kept thinking to myself, this is so unusual that the bank is doing this. I've never been asked like this so much before. And then 2 days ago, JP Morgan, Jamie Dimon, JP Morgan came out and said, well, their credit card division is having like 20-something% defaults. And then Bank of America came out and said they have really high defaults. And Citibank came out and said the exact same thing. And I'm thinking, oh my God, these investment banks are really struggling, and 2-to-1, they're going to ask for bailouts before all the money's gone. And you know who pays for bailouts is you and I. The taxpayer will pay for bailouts, and they'll pay for bailouts in one way or another. So if the government has to, not the government, it's the Fed, which is a privately held organization by very wealthy people who then charge us to give us an interest rate to give us the little pieces of paper. If they start printing up their printing machine, inflation you're going to see go up, up, up. The only way is to have some of these, I don't know, they're too big to fail, but some of these banks, they're really gonna have to let them default and go under. But they're counting on these big ones to buy out some of the little ones, the regional ones or the small ones that are already going under. And then I thought to myself, maybe the reason why the bank is being so really picayune, I'm going to say, I've never had anyone look at expenses so much. I've never made so much, and I've never had anybody look at the question of whether they're going to lend me money like this. And I said, maybe the bank that I'm trying to borrow from is struggling to stay alive itself. I wouldn't put it beyond any bank right now. It's very interesting. Also, it sounds like in the future, we are going to take, at some point in time, we are going to have a U.S. dollar, not a Fed note that's owned by a private or corporation, but a U.S. dollar, which will be owned by we the people. And we will probably have to go into a redemption center with our Fed notes and swap them out for a new U.S. Treasury bill or U.S. dollar. I don't know what they're going to call it, which will help the United States potentially remain alive. Otherwise, as you know, in the last previous administration, the jobless rates have been recalculated. There's a lot of stuff that's been recalculated. Even Janet Yellen changed the meaning or the definition of a recession because Biden had a couple years of recession already. But since Janet Yellen is faking out the public, because remember, she is not looking out for your good, for the good of the people. She's looking out for the good of the people that own the Fed, some very large families. And same thing with Powell. Powell actually, if you know his history, people will say, oh, he was very successful at Carlisle. Oh, yes, he did very well. However, it was a very predatory business. So, if you all know what that means, if you don't know what the word predatory means, go look it up because I don't know how else to describe it. Um, and now we're looking at um, Blackstone potentially buying up whole developments because some of these contractors have not been able to sell their developments. So they buy up the whole developments. Let's say they have 100 houses on sale. I'm just using odd numbers at 500,000. They'll say, okay, we'll buy every single house here and now from you and we'll give you $300,000. And really, the contractors, a lot of them have no choice. So they take it. Then they'll sit on it a little bit. Blackstone will sit on it a little bit. And then they'll take and rent out all those houses to get the cash flow going against a $300,000 purchase price. So they calculate this all out in advance. So they're going to be making money at the get-go with that. And as these rentals stop being rented as time goes on, Blackstone will take one other fund that they're going to start and have that fund buy like 3 or 4 of these $300,000 houses at 700. And these 700,000 that were purchased will now be comps for all these other houses over here, and they'll be able to instantaneously declare that they've made 100% profit over 3, 4, 5 years. They probably can do it pretty quickly on some of them. That is sort of what you call predatory. So that whole area now, anyone in that whole area would have to pay around 700,000 because those comps now, all the appraisals are going to come in as they're worth more than they actually are because they've bought from one fund of theirs to another fund of theirs. It's a very tricky, predatory way of interacting with people, but they get the money for their purchasers of their funds. So you think what you think about it, and that's going to be happening in a lot of places. And I don't know if you heard, but Warren Buffett has just, I'm going to say bailed out, but he just purchased 2 large, I think it was Dinar and another very large contractor. Large, like that would build, track homes, huge, like 500 homes, maybe 100 at a time. Warren Buffett just did the same thing. Bought the homes. Bought from the contractor, who I think will probably be finishing the ones that are half done and stuff. But anyway, people are going to be making money left and right coming up. And then there is probably 85% of the population that's going to be floating downward in their assets as well as their ability to make money with AI. There's a lot of jobs that are going to go in the wind. I mean, both my girls are in finance, sales analysts, and those will be gone relatively soon. It'll all be done online, and they're training the young kids to manage all their own money online. The world is changing, and you better be learning very quickly. Otherwise, you're going to be swept under the bus. And people will be very happy when they're taking your money. All right. This is the Abundance Oracle. We'll see how my little adventure goes with that. If it doesn't work with that one, there'll be another one. And I've got to keep pressing forward in the meantime. I have 2 more places to rent in my own little complex here. And we'll keep going. All right. Love you all. And I'll try and get on more often, but it's just crazy now. I don't know if you find everybody's crazy and overburdened and doing a lot more than you used to do. So take care of yourself. Big hugs to you. Love you tons. And find some joy in your life. Love you tons. Bye.